Warning, this podcast may cause uncontrollable laughter, side-eye stares, and questionable life choices. You're listening to The Big Party Show with Big Party and Molly.
Guess who's back?
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Daddy's
Everyone's
back.
like,
Daddy's back.
Okay, I'm good to go.
All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back. Daddy's back. Daddy's back in the house. Well, how patient is everybody? And good Lord, how patient has everybody else been, Molly? It's been pretty crazy.
This has been fantastic.
yeah.
I mean, sometimes you gotta take a step back in order to take a couple steps forward.
Sure.
And that's sort of how I feel like this was. Like we took a step back and it really was such a moment to just realize like, hey, wow, people like us.
People really do. They love us. All right,
Not
so-
just my cat.
Yeah, yes, not just our family. All right, so real quick, the biggest question is what happened to the Big Party Show? All right, we're living in digital now. Of course, you listen to the podcast, so you know what to do. What you need to do really is it helps us along the way. You need to follow, rate, and review. All right, so follow, rate, and review. And if you're watching the video on the Heard at One Network YouTube, you need to subscribe. Okay, do that all for us because that's how this works. But in the end, what happened was we did the show January 27th. They called me into a boardroom and told me that they're eliminating my job. And then
They
they
no
did
longer
this.
needed a morning show host. Okay.
And then they did the same thing to Molly as well. And so basically that's how that happens in radio. I've been in this business for so long. And as being the person that's getting eliminated, I guess you would say, silenced, whatever you want to say it and how you want to say it, it sucks because you never get to say bye to all the people that put you there. And if it wasn't for them doing it this way, I probably would have stopped. I just figured myself when radio finally quit me, I would actually just go chill and fade away. You know, that's what I would do. But when I wasn't able to say bye, that changed everything. And then, of course, all you guys out there and I've always said this, if it wasn't for all of you, we would never be where we're at and we never would last as long. If
Amen.
it wasn't for you guys reaching out to us and me realizing quickly how long you guys have been listening, there was no way that I was going to be silenced at all and just bail on you guys. And then, so this is what's going on. And that's pretty much it. It sucks.
So
that
thanks
it
for
works
coming
that
on
way.
this journey with us. I mean, that's the best thing about this is that we get this next chapter.
Yeah.
Party and I are so thrilled to be back together and also just have so much more to say. So surprising that
Oh.
Party and I are not at a loss of words.
No. And God bless Heard at One for partnering up with us and our super producer, Gracie, helping us through this as well. And Pat and JT and everyone else. So, yeah, this is it. And you know what you're getting and we know what we're bringing. So, okay.
The biggest
I almost
thing
found myself lost for words right there. But, yeah.
surprising to me.
Yeah, very surprising.
I want to ask you about a dining choice that you made earlier today.
Oh, God. All right, so we had a photo shoot today.
Yes.
We had a photo shoot today, and we're sitting in the office and hanging out. We're at Heard At, and my stomach starts to grumble. And I'm like, what am I going to do now? Something's happening, and this ain't good. I live like 6 minutes away from Heard At. And so
Which is an hour when your body's feeling like that.
So I quickly ended my conversation with Pat and you, went to the car, crab walked as fast as I could into the house, and I made it, thank God. But yeah, I had Chick-fil-A from the airport in Nashville. For breakfast.
Keep in mind, This wasn't a surprise photo shoot. It wasn't like we showed up today and they were like, "Hey
No.
guys, while we have you both here, let's get a couple pictures." This was a planned thing. So what do? I go into spiral panic lady mode and immediately I'm like, "I need eye patches and all sorts of collagen things and I want to make sure that I don't eat 20 days in advance of this."
Yeah,
How does
yeah.
he get ready? He eats airport Chick-fil-A.
Airport Chick-fil-A.
If you've ever
Oh,
wondered the difference between the sexes and how they prepare themselves for things, there we go. We've got
well,
airport Chick-fil-A, intermittent fasting.
yeah. Then my biggest nervousness is making it through this first podcast. I
Well, now,
instantly
yeah.
was like, what's going to happen now? Of course, this happens to me. So yeah, it was in Nashville airport. It was around 1 o'clock yesterday that I grabbed some Chick-fil-A with the sweet Wileen, and then I brought it back, of course,
Sick.
and then I ate it for breakfast this morning.
Gross. Who
Um,
gets to go from an airport?
Me,
There are like so many things wrong. Why don't you just go ahead and get shrimp cocktail from a truck stop? I mean, seriously, there are
I know,
so many levels of wrong.
I know, absolutely,
You're
and
like you're not in a hospital.
I know. Well, it's Chick-fil-A, it's good. But yeah, so all right, so Southwest Airlines. I flew
Oh,
Southwest, and it was probably my last time before the changes happen where I can be gate-less, because they are switching everything up in May. And by what I mean is that there will be no more free luggage, right? And there's going to be 9 different boarding groups,
9?
9 different boarding groups, because they're not going to have you get to pick your own seats anymore. So yeah,
I
this
knew
is all
that.
making people mad because the only way you can get free luggage is if you're A-list preferred, I believe, or you are a card holder, a premium business card holder for Southwest, which I am. But
Obviously.
yes,
You're like, you don't get to be gaslight just overnight. Gaslight doesn't just happen. You gotta
yeah,
really accrue those
you
miles.
you do. So anyway, yeah, that changes. It was the weirdest flight. We went to Florida for a few days to celebrate Wileen's graduation,
Oh.
right? So we went there and we hung out for 4 or 5 days, and it started so bizarre because we're sitting there and it was
Mhm.
automatically saying that when we were in St. Louis that there was like a 35-minute delay and the
Okay.
plane is full, right? So next thing over the intercom, they're talking about, is anyone on this flight that isn't supposed to be on this flight? So someone
What?
snuck on the plane.
That's terrifying.
Oh, it was terrifying. Yes. And
Really
so
never supposed to happen.
so the kid sitting next to Wileen and I was all like, "What?" And then they went down through each person through the whole plane with a list. You know that list they have everybody on?
Manifest,
The
yeah.
manifest. And they asked us their names and I'm like that. Probably took an hour. And
Save us, please.
then then they went and grabbed the kid. There was a kid that had to
That
walk
was
the
sitting
shame.
next to you?
Walk of shame. Not that kid. It was his brother. So his parents and his brother were trying to sneak him on a plane. He was supposed to be catching another flight in Fort Walton Beach. And I heard this kid underneath his breath say, "Oh my God, I think he missed his flight."
Oh my god.
How
What
insane is that?
what kind of trash panda airline were you flying on? Like,
Southwest.
we don't even know who people are on this flight. Like, how does
Southwest did that. How crazy is that?
they think they're fancy enough to
Oh
have
no.
assigned seats and paid luggage when they can't even keep people who weren't supposed to be on the flight off the flight?
Yes,
They need to go back to the drawing
I
board.
think so. Yeah. So that was about it with my trip and everything like that. If I had any issues, but I've never experienced that before. I mean, when someone says someone is on this flight that doesn't belong on it, you think
Seriously,
instantly this is not good.
I've never heard of that in my life because
No.
you have to scan.
Yes.
I mean, so and it beeps. I mean,
Yes.
I've seen people even like they're so sensitive that like if you scan and it's because you're a line jumper,
Uh huh.
they'll even say like it's not group 2 yet or it's not group B yet, it's group whatever, and they'll shame you to the back of the line. So how does that happen but they let somebody who's supposed to be on an entirely different
I
plane
know.
board the
Well,
plane?
shame on that family. That those parents are the one that did this. So that when we're standing in line, gate lice in it, right? I
Yeah.
heard some man go, "Just give me all the boarding passes, and I'll just scan everyone in." So I'm thinking maybe that's how he did it. He was as he was scanning, dude bra slid through.
Okay, maybe. Yeah,
Right?
that could happen. Yeah, like if you handed off 4 instead of 5
Yes.
or 3 instead of 4. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is that you wouldn't even be able to double scan because once it's scanned, it
It's scanned.
locks.
Yep.
That's it. It's kind of like when you go to a concert and they're like, "No reentry." I'm like, "Well, you are terrible people because I should be able to go outside, get some fresh air, finish out this concert how I want." I mean, I was always so
Yeah. I
excited
don't
because
know.
over at Stir, they had that special area. Like, cause that's the thing is
That-
that I remember, like, you could go out to the special area and smoke, and then, like, you could come back in.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was, like, the one reentry, but otherwise, if you just, like, left the parking lot, like, went out to get something from your car I'm like, "So I can go out and have a cigarette, but if I try to go get hand sanitizer from my car, I'm now on lock?"
Yeah.
Doesn't
You're
seem
on
right.
lock.
Doesn't seem right.
Well, when I was getting off finally, I realized that I left my water bottle in the plane.
Oh, I
Yeah, and
hate
I
that.
didn't want to start it like that. And so I had to go to the guy and ask if I can go back into the plane, and he said no.
Nope.
And then I
Mm-mm.
said, "Well, have this water bottle that I left." And he told me to describe it, and I said it's baby blue and it says husband of the year on it.
That guy's like, "Well, that's a stretch." That's the first thing that makes me think that you're lying.
And it does. It does.
It
It
does?
does say husband of the year.
Buy it for yourself?
No, the sweet Wileen. The sweet Wileen. Yeah.
She's so nice. Peter doesn't have one.
That's because he's not husband of the year, Molly.
Yeah, he's married to me.
There can
That
only
makes him
be
husband
one.
of the year every single year. That makes him husband of the moment. We are still happily married. That guy deserves a
Yeah.
placard.
Yeah, I even have this right here. I don't know if you won't be able to see it if you're listening, but
You got a plaque?
yeah, I have a plaque that says great job, fiance of the year 2019 to 2020.
You're such a needy little thing. You know, they talk about that, how people have, love languages,
That's our love
right?
language because I call Wileen
So
wifey of the year, and I refer to myself as husband of the year, and I figured if I say it enough times, I'll win.
well, so that's the thing is that what I'm realizing is I'm married to a word of affirmation
Okay.
love language, and I am an acts of service love language. So for me, talk means nothing. Like
Ew.
I grew up with politicians. I grew up with an
What do you?
attorney for a dad. Like you can talk to me all day long, but you know what? You show up and do something. You shovel that walk. You wash those dishes. You make that
Oh,
bed,
so you?
and I'm all like, "What are we doing tonight?"
Oh, gross.
But he is a word of affirmation guy, and so he is married to a total dead end delivery on that because
Okay.
he's always like, "Do you? This is when you tell me I did a good job, Molly. This is when you tell me I'm the best at this. This is when you." I'm like,
God.
"What?" Like, so for me, I know who you are because you are like him. You need to be like told like husband of the year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't care. Give me a plaque or not. But you know what? You know what speaks to me? If you went out and bought me a gift certificate for a massage,
Well, that's nice.
acts of service.
Has Peter ever given you a massage?
Like him giving me a
Yeah,
massage?
like lathered up, candles, all that stuff, oils, and
Oh God, you know I don't like to be touched. I'm not even like, talking about like another person giving me a massage.
oh,
Have you given Wileen a massage?
yeah, not like
You got
that
all the
though.
lotions and potions and
No, I
oils
don't
and
have. I
stuff.
didn't do anything like that. No.
What did you do? Rubbed her shoulders for 2 seconds and
Yes.
stopped.
That's my love language. Hey, it's better than
That isn't
nothing.
even a massage. That's like Peter's done that to me,
All right
where he'll
then.
come up behind me in a chair and he'll like rub my shoulders and he'll be like, "Oh, you're tense." I'm like, "Yeah, I got the weight of the world on my shoulders. I'm a mother of 2 and married to a words of affirmation guy."
There you go. The words of affirmation guy. All right, so that photo shoot today was fun. I
It
don't
was
know. I could never be a swimsuit model or model of any course. I don't. It's hard.
It
I
is
don't
hard.
get
Like
it.
people laugh and think that modeling is some sort of goofy, like anybody can do it. They cannot.
Yeah.
You
It's
really have to lose
hard.
yourself.
I
Mhm.
took a photo in where I was at in Destin, Florida,
Mhm.
and I posted it, and I had the perfect angle, and I looked at it, and I'm like, oh my god, did I lose weight? And so I posted that, talking about the first day of spring and all that
Right.
stuff. And then my sister out in California messaged me and said, "Hey, I saw that photo.
Okay.
Um, are you trying to lose weight on purpose? Are you feeling okay? Are you sick?"
Wow. Send her some photos from today's photo shoot after you had airport
Oh,
Chick-fil-A.
yes. So I'm going into this photo shoot thinking I must have lost weight. I know I got the perfect angle. You got to see it on Facebook. We'll share it here, but yeah. And then I looked at the pictures as we're taking photos,
Uh-huh.
and my breath was taken away inside.
It's humbling, isn't it?
Very much so.
Mhm.
I even had somebody ask me if I was on Ozempic. I'm like, how dare you?
Talk about words of affirmation. Good God. Somebody was like spoon feeding gluttony your words of affirmation. Like, have another bite. You had Ozempic. Oh my God, did you lose 20 pounds? Are you have cancer?
Yeah.
When we
Oh
talked
my
yesterday, you
God.
said that. You're like, listen, I've lost weight.
I did.
You did.
I
You made a
did.
point in telling me because I said to you,
Mm-hmm.
I saw the picture that you posted of you and Wileen,
That's the
and you
one.
guys look fantastic.
Isn't
No,
it a
I mean,
great one?
it's a great picture of both of you,
Yeah.
which that's really tough as a couple to pull off the like we both look great. It's not just one of us or the other.
And we don't, and we
It's
don't,
it's the lighting, it's the whole 9
yeah.
yards.
And we don't take a billion photos.
No.
We're just that damn photogenic together.
I mean, that's how you know you found your person. So you were riding high when I talked to you yesterday.
Yes,
You had
I
a belly
was.
full of celebratory Nashville airport Chick-fil-A, and you were just killing it. You were like, you know what? I think I can go ahead and have another one of those for breakfast the next day, right
Yes,
before the photo shoot.
absolutely. Crab walking into the house as fast as
I can't
possible.
even tell you the last time
Ugh.
I had fried food.
Oh,
I
good for
can't
you.
even
That's
tell you.
good. That's good.
No, I mean, it's like it makes me,
Gross.
yeah,
Makes you
it's like
gross.
my stomach is like turned.
You know what it probably is now that you mentioned that? I haven't had fast food in a long time.
There you go.
That's probably what it is now.
Makes
Because
a difference.
either that or it turned after.
After sitting on a flight for a couple hours and then you backpacking at home in your pocket until you got to your refrigerator 7 hours later and then put it in there to have for breakfast this morning. You're right. There's nothing about that that sounds like it could possibly lead to stomach discomfort. Because you know what? I bet it had mayonnaise on it.
It didn't. It didn't have anything on it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It didn't have a thing.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Because that's the
Um,
one thing skeeves me out.
yeah, is the mayonnaise. But
Well,
anyway,
day old mayonnaise. You're like, ugh.
yeah. So that's my journey. So yeah, I walked into that photo shoot today thinking I'm pretty
You're like, I'm ready to take on the world. Where
puffy.
I'm like,
I'm
God,
puffy.
I'm like, do I take the anti-anxiety medicine now
Yeah,
or
yeah.
after the shoot? I'm like, well, I don't know
Well,
when.
you brought in 18 different outfits.
I did.
Yes, you did. So
'Cause
you were
I'm apparently
prepared.
a photo shoot schizophrenic. Like, which personality is gonna click today?
Exactly. So
I did because it's been a minute since we had professional photos taken,
yeah,
and to be fair to me, and is that I did have to travel from Chicago to our photo shoot in Omaha. And so, it's not like I have the luxury of just going into my closet this morning and seeing how I feel. Like I needed to pull bunches of stuff to see like what's going to work.
yeah.
And then my dear friend Kathy gifted me with a beautiful green shirt this morning. Like she surprised me. She's like, "You always look good in green." She'd worn it when we went to dinner not that long ago, and she went out and bought me one for myself.
Oh, she
We're
actually
like,
bought that for you. That was nice.
yes,
Okay.
I
All
know. Isn't
right.
that nice? So, I tried that in the photo shoot. So that was an extra shirt that I hadn't had planned, but was a fun surprise. Um, and at the end of the day, I just put me in a trash bag. Like
I
seriously,
am with you.
like what does it even matter anymore?
It doesn't. We're being. I mean, you be so self conscious of yourself, But it does make you wonder, what do other people see when they see you? You know what I
That's the
mean?
horrible thing.
Like in the back of their mind is like, God, he's puffy and bald.
I don't know if photographs are accurate.
I don't know either. I don't think. I mean, example, the one I sent, I posted of that everyone thought I was sick and I don't know, it was Ozempic. It's what the
One
hell?
person,
How-
all these people, one person
just
said it
takes
to him.
one.
I guarantee you it was one person, and now he's like tens of thousands.
It was two separate people. So yeah, it was two. But yeah, but
My
yeah,
thing is that, you know what? I don't live looking at myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I feel good in my body, if I feel happy and healthy, and I put on clothes that I like, and I don't necessarily like, I go days without looking in a mirror. Like, the only time I look in the mirror is in the morning when I'm brushing my teeth, and at night when I'm washing my face and brushing my teeth.
What
to
do
go
you
to bed.
see when you look in the mirror?
A gargoyle.
So that mirror is accurate.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you want to look at that all day? No, it's just it's a weird journey. You know, not to get too philosophical, but it is a weird journey as a woman.
Yeah.
You have different stages in your life of your looks, you know, and so it's this constant struggle for a lot of people, that where you just have to make peace with it and just go, you know what, I don't need to look in mirrors. I don't care if I got that lipstick on smoothly enough. Somebody will tell me if it's on my teeth or on my cheek.
No, they won't.
Or if you're party, you won't. You'll be like, you look great. Are you on Ozempic?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but
Yeah,
Wileen doesn't like photos either. You know, because I was talking about you behind your back, and I was saying Molly's always so crazy about photos for some reason. And Wileen said the same thing. She goes, she is too. She goes, it's a woman thing.
Mhm.
So there you go.
I mean, there's a reason, like, what's crazy is, and I would put this out to all the listeners, I would love to know if I'm the only one, but like, you'll look back at family photos or like photos from family trips,
Yeah.
and it's Peter and the kids, or it's the kids, or it's Peter. There are none of, like, on the
This is
rare
it.
occasion am I in them. And it's one of those things where I have to force myself to do it, because there's going to be a day, let's not be ghoulish, but there's going to be a day where I go to that great cat sanctuary in the sky.
And they're gonna say, who's this crazy cat
They're going to
lady?
be like, you're home, mama. And the kids are going to go back through pictures and be like, why isn't there one stinking photo of mom? I remember her on that trip, but I sure would love to see her face.
That's sad.
Right? Isn't it wild when you like break it down like that? So then I started making an effort of being like, at least in one or two photos when we go on family trips, like to make a point of being like, Peter, will you take a picture of me and the kids? Or like, hey, tourist, will you take a picture of the family?
Hey, tourist.
A lot of times it is.
Hey, you
And then you do the
tourist.
swap. Don't you do that with when you're
Oh,
touring
God.
places? They're like, we'll take a picture of you if you take a picture of us.
Last time that happened, we're on a at a Sandals on a dock,
Okay.
and we just walked out to check out the sunset. And this nice older couple walked up and said, "Hey, can you take our photo?" And so they were doing all these photos, kind of like what we did today, together.
Okay.
You know, where they're staring and lingering in their eye. You know, all that stuff. All that romantic stuff.
Longingly.
Longingly. And so I handed him handed him his phone.
Yeah.
And then he asked for my phone, and he said, "We'll take your guys' photo."
Oh, I know
So he was having us look into each other's eyes, kiss, all that weird stuff. Not that it's weird, and we should be doing that. So yeah, that was kind of the last time we had somebody actually take photos.
We were
for
just,
us,
I
but,
was
yeah.
just at a bar, a club for my girlfriend's birthday. And it was one of those places where a photographer comes around.
Mhm.
I hadn't been to one of these in a while. It's almost like the idea of going to a bar when there's like the Red Bull chick there, or like the shot lady or something. This guy comes around and he has us do all these horrible poses. I mean, just bad stuff, like making a heart with our hands.
Okay, yeah.
Like all three of us and everything. And that, like by the time we got to the okay, and now I want you to make a heart with your like I had exhausted my patience with like being cheesy. And so the look on my face is just a scowl. Like I'm like barely making the heart and I'm just like, whatever. He takes the picture. That's the one my friend buys. She's like, I am keeping this forever. Like I think when you better hope that
Also, he
you
was
don't die
selling these
before
to
me.
you, selling them to
Yes,
you?
he sold them.
Wow, okay. I didn't.
And she bought it because she's like, this face is classic. Like this, you better pray that you don't die before me because this is so going in your funeral reel. And I was like, why would you do that to me? She's like, because it's amazing. You look so grumpy. That is like the most sad heart,
The saddest heart
and
ever.
saddest heart ever. And
The
you're just like so
saddest.
not having it anymore.
Hey, before we forget, I just want to congratulate UNO, the Mavs basketball team. They lost the
Yeah.
first round against St. John's, but God, what a journey they made it. It was the first time they ever made it to the dance. Um, and yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to give them some love because that's quite a journey from what they become to what they were before. It's
I
insane,
know.
and then that whole garbage can thing is insane
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, I just want to give some love to those guys before we forget for that. Bill Pickett took all those kids out there. I mean,
How cute was that?
yeah, that was a battle though to try to
Really
beat that team. So yeah,
St. John's is probably going to go all the way. How many brackets have you filled out?
none this year.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't do any this year. I didn't do a single bracket.
That's wild to me. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't, but that's not unusual. I can't believe my sister did 3.
And
I'm like, "Are you a degenerate gambler? Like, who needs 3 brackets?" She's like, "Well, one's got UNO going all the way, so that got busted.
oh, you're kidding me. Okay.
No, one has Creighton going all the way." And I'm like, "You're again betting with your heart."
Yes.
And then like the final one is like Duke.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, which is fine, but at the same time, I'm like, how did you even get to fill out 3? She's like, well, I did one through this site and I did one through this site. I'm like, you are
And
betting
you
on
have
the
no brackets.
ponies.
Peter had no
No.
brackets either? Or
Peter has brackets.
Okay. All
but
right.
I haven't talked to him about his brackets. He knows better than to like
Than to
have
talk
that
to you.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. About sports
Yeah. Sports with the
or
chick.
anything really. Like really.
Yeah.
I
Well,
bet he has St. John's going all the way.
okay.
So Peter is a DePaul guy.
Mm-hmm.
And St. John's is another Vincentian college. There's only 2. So he's like, well, if it can't be DePaul, like, let's go for St. John's. So he might have a shot. I mean, I was sad to see UNO, not make it past their round.
Yeah.
But if they were going to lose to somebody, I was like, St. John's is probably going to go to the end.
Yeah. They could very well go all the way to the end. Because remember, Creighton played them for the Big East tournament in the championship
Yeah.
and got smoked.
Yeah.
I
I mean, so they've got a good, they're coming in strong.
Congrats. Is there any shout outs
So-
you want to do to anyone?
Shout outs.
Yeah, thankful to Peter for having your back.
Yeah, no, I am thankful. I mean, Peter has been a single guy for like a week now. And unlike me, he really doesn't like it. Like it's really he's like so sweet to take it one for the team on this because like unlike me who I'd be like, I'm alone for a week.
Yeah.
You guys are coming back already?
Husband of the year.
Husband of the year, words of affirmation. Thank you for teaching me that. You got to give me the link on where I can get the
The stickers,
the stickers and the special
plaque.
stuff. I mean, it was already his birthday, so I can't. Do you get Wileen wifey stuff?
No.
You don't reciprocate with wife of the
I
year?
call
or-
her wife of the year all the time.
Yeah, maybe
um,
she'd like to see it.
But what
on
do
a-
you want to do when you do that is you kind of want to say a candidate. If when Peter does something nice, he goes, "See, you're in the running for husband of the year." See?
Yeah, I see how that works. Whether I can put that into practice, TBD. That
right.
is
practice. All right, people. This is what we need you to do again. First of all, if
Yes.
you're tuning in, thanks so much for tuning in. We gotta run. Baby's crying, so I gotta go tend to that. No, I don't have a baby.
Little
Yeah,
girls.
I
Yeah,
don't have
no,
a
but
baby
he's
at
got
all.
fur babies.
Yeah. But yeah, make sure you follow, rate, and review if you're listening. We're on Spotify. I don't know where you're listening at. We're anywhere you can get a podcast. We're at Apple Podcasts as well. The Big Party Show. Tell all your friends. Tell
Please.
everybody, pretty please. And if you're watching on the Heard at One YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and then share. That's the most important thing is share, share, share. And if you know of anybody that has a business that wants to sponsor this or any part of it or advertise, reach out to us. All right. Just reach out
We're
to us.
ready.
Because that's just kind of how it works. But yeah, that is it.
Thank you for tuning in for the inaugural The Big Party Show with Big Party and Molly.
Yeah.
This is like
Episodes.
fun. We're just getting started. This is just a little amuse-bouche of what's to come. Remember, we are going to be dropping new episodes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So you're going to want to make sure that you follow and on Spotify and definitely Apple so you don't miss it. They'll automatically bink populate into your phone and you won't miss a minute.
All right. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a safe next couple of days and do yourself good.